Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name is Tanya. Today we are going to make a very simple recipe. The weather is warm even though it's the second week in March. This is crazy good. What a gift it is to get weather like this. I'm so excited about it. So I want to get outside, so I need to make a dessert for dinner tonight. Easy recipe, 4 ingredients, and I've already thawed my raspberries. I bought frozen raspberries, but you're welcome to use fresh raspberries. We're going to make a raspberry mousse. So go with me as we whip this up real quick. Okay, like I said, 4 ingredients. We're going to put them in our Vitamix. If you have a regular blender, that's totally fine. This is like a blender combined with an outboard motor behind your ski boat. This is crazy powerful. I highly recommend this. Just, yeah. No, they're not sponsoring it. I don't have a sponsor. But you could also use a food processor if you have one of those. Or I don't know if an immersion blender would work in this. You got to be kind of careful about those because it'll burn up if you get something too thick. But I don't think this is going to be too thick. So we're going to try this, but feel free to use food processor or a blender. First of all, we're going to put our raspberries in there. This is a cup of raspberries. And like I said, I'm using what was frozen raspberries, but feel free to use fresh if you have those. I always thought raspberries were pretty, but I'd never even had a raspberry until a few years ago. Now I can't get enough of them. They're just so stinking good. All right, we also have 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And I just put this in there right before I turn the camera on. And this is dark maple syrup, which is my favorite. I could drink this stuff with a straw. I'm not even exaggerating. I love me some maple syrup. You can also use honey in place of the maple syrup. I'm trying to stay away from processed and refined sugar, so these are good alternatives. This is a good dessert for someone who's trying to watch that and not consume all those processed sugars. When you say dessert, you normally think of sugar, but this is not one of those. This is my homemade vanilla, and we need about a teaspoon of that. And I use one of these baby medicine droppers. Those are so handy when it comes to measuring out vanilla. Okay, we have 2 cups of cottage cheese. This is the kind I'm using. Oh, that smells so good. If you're not familiar with raspberries, the smell or the taste, just go get some, and hopefully you'll be getting to make this recipe, but there'll be enough left over after you make this to just try them. Now, yes, they have seeds in them, and you can strain those out if you need to, but just enjoy the beautiful flavor of raspberries. I don't know if they're so good because I think they're so visually pretty, or if they really are that good. Okay, careful with the raspberry juice because it'll probably stain. All right, make sure you can see this. Secure the lid down. So we have cottage cheese, raspberries, vanilla, and maple syrup. That's it. I'm going to plug it in over here. Let's turn this on. I'm going to give that one little stir. I'm seeing one tiny little curd of cottage cheese that's just being happy, sitting in the middle, and I want it in there. Sometimes with a Vitamix, it'll get a bubble because the RPMs are so high, it gets a bubble right in the center. But if you're familiar with Vitamix, you know that when a product is fully processed as much as it's supposed to be. It'll make those 4 little mounds in there, which I showed you when I did the close-up of it. So let's whip this up again. Perfect. All right, I have these 4 little jars right here. I think these, I think I bought yogurt in one of these, in one of those little fancy yogurts years ago. So we have our 4 little jars right here. This is probably too much to fill in there. Man, that means I'm gonna have extra and I'm gonna have to eat that. Ah. These would be so pretty for a dessert for Easter, I'm thinking, just because the color is so pretty. Okay, I'll have to go get a couple more jars out of my serving piece cabinet and put in there. Okay, here's our taste test. I've got this little drip on the side. We'll clear that off and taste it. Oh my goodness. That's really nice. I would say it's not like overpoweringly sugary like an ice cream, and you're supposed to store these in the refrigerator. I guess you could put them in the freezer. I don't really know. These are going to go in the refrigerator. That's what the instructions call for. But this has enough of the salty flavor from the cottage cheese and that really mild, beautiful, fragrant sweetness from the maple syrup. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's delightful. You need to try this. You really, really need to try this. Yeah. This is going to be good. Okay, so the instructions suggest that maybe little mint leaves, and I know my mint is turning green outside in the beds where I have it planted up. I maybe shouldn't have said that. You're supposed to keep it in a pot, but anyway, I'm a rebel. But you could put little mint leaves on this to decorate it, or I'm thinking maybe we've made homemade chocolate before, like homemade chocolate chips out of honey and carob powder or cocoa powder and coconut oil and a little bit of salt. And you could just drizzle a little bit of chocolate on that. Yeah, that would be really nice. Oh, these are delightful. Okay, I'm glad there's some in there. I'm going to get a jar and put that in there. I'm going to save it till after dinner because if I start eating it, I'm not going to stop and then it's going to frustrate me. I don't want to act like I'm hiding the fact that I ate a whole jar of it before my husband got home. So anyway, okay, give these a try. Recipe in the description as always, and we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Look how cute this is. Is that not just the cutest thing ever? Oh, okay. This might be my new favorite dessert. Something good for the summertime too. Keep these in the fridge. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Okay, thanks guys. See ya, bye.